Siya, you missed out last week. So how's the preparation gone this week? A lot of people have thought this won't be a series decider, but it is, and in Wales have come to play.
Yeah, preparation have gone well. It's been obviously, it was tough last week. I thought the guys played well, and like we said, we all know how Wales are. I think I said in the first week that they're similar to us. They play like when they're hard and they don't stop for 80 minutes, and that's what's been happening the past two games. And yeah, we're looking forward to this week. It's going to be tough. As it always is, but the prep has gone well. We've looked at the game, and we've seen where they were strong the last game, and we really worked hard on that this week.
Stoko, if I may, Dan Bigger actually said yesterday that they try and limit opportunities for the Boks to actually engage with him, to have the ball in their half, and that kind of as a deliberate ploy. How do you get around that so that you can build those phases and get the attacking shot going?
Yeah, Ashfaq, I think that's test match rugby. Territory is very important at test match rugby. And like Siya said earlier on, we know they've got a similar plan to what we also want to achieve, And they are a very tough side. So if you give them opportunities, you saw in the first game, that first half, when we made silly errors, they capitalized from them. And we know that's what they live for, When they get those scraps, they will punish you. They've got players that can create something, if you give them opportunity. So, yes, we understand and we respect that. And unfortunately, it's the nature of the game at test match level. You have to make sure that you play in the right areas. And hopefully tomorrow we will manage that side very well, because I think that's one thing that I know for sure. It let us down in the first half in Pretoria. The guys last week in Bloom, I think they've started very well, where a lot of people were talking about the B team, where those guys started very well. And we were leading properly with 12 points to 3, So, but I think once again, there was also lessons that we've learned in that game. I think our discipline let us down in that last 20 minutes of the game, but we're just going to take the positive from both games, and then make sure that we build it to the game tomorrow.
Siya, how much is this bit of a deja vu, similar to the recent Lions season? You got two games apiece and coming down to the final game.
Yeah, we've been in these situations, I think, since the first time this coaching staff has been in charge. England, was the first time, and we know we actually were coming from behind, and we had the second game to try and win the series, and we tried to do that this series too, to win it last week, but it didn't happen like that. Last year, the British and Irish Lions thought it was one piece each. But yeah, it's good. I think it also builds character, and that's what the coaches have been trying to do, to put it, for us to be in situations like this, and that's where who you are is really shown, or your character shows in games like this, and that's what's going to be needed tomorrow. And we've been in situations like this, so it's nothing new. But Wales, I'm sure, have also been in this situation. Both teams have got experienced players, and they do too. So yeah, it's going to be an important game, and we're looking forward to it as a team. Great way to start the season for us. And obviously, we can build on this.
Siya, there's not even iets against 100 cap, obviously, at Bombies 50th. Will you guys be using that as extra motivation for this week? And then just in regards with the way you guys have been playing the style, will you guys stick to the normal Springbok, or is there anything we can expect different this weekend?
I think the game by itself is already motivation. I think every time you put on the Springbok jersey, is always something big for us as a team, because not many have put on this jersey, and we are obviously so happy, and I'm honored to be on the field with both of those guys who've won this jersey with pride over and over again, and not many people. I mean, he's only the 7th guy to put on, and the youngest guy to put it on, and not once has he ever, dropped the team. He's always given everything. So, and Bongi is Bongi. He's always ready. He wears his heart on the sleeves at all times. We obviously want to do it for them, but most importantly for the Springboks, and obviously for the people of South Africa who actually came and supported us in probably one of the it's difficult in our country at the moment, with everything that's going on, but people are still buying tickets, coming to support us, so there's all of that to play for tomorrow. And yeah, it'll be amazing to make it special for the two guys.
Yeah, regarding the style of play, this question always pops up. But yeah, once again, you know what, we've got our strengths as South African team, as Springboks, and there's something that comes by nature in South Africa, the hardship, we are hard people, I'll talk about myself personally, we don't have it easy in South Africa. Everything that you earn in South Africa, you have to fight, and make sure that you earn it and fight and go hard, so that's one thing. It comes natural to us. We are aggressive people, so that's one of our strengths, and I don't think we will ever move away from that. We have got physical players that can dominate collision, so that's for any coach. If you can ask around the world, if you can get a player that can do that job for you, happy days for a coach. And once again, when it comes to style of play, we don't limit our players when it comes to their decision making. They've got all the freedom in the world, where if the space is there for them to run into spaces, they do it. They show you in the second half in Pretoria. Even last week, where there were a lot of balls that we felt like we had opportunity to take it wide. If you remember, the likes of Warwick and Ketley Arens and Fati on the outside, they had a lot of opportunities, but it's just that they were not clinical to convert those opportunities into points. So once again, it was the first time also them playing together as a team. So we're not going to be that harsh on them and say, you know what, they don't have what it takes. We know they've got great potential. We've seen them doing great things for their teams. So once again, I think we still got a room to improve. It's just the beginning, first 2 games of the season, and we'll always strive to get better as a team. But once again, we're not going to drift away from our strengths. We'll stick to our DNA.
Now let's move on to Wales. Just been out to the Wales, did an interview with the Wales team, Adam Beard. He said they're very relaxed at the moment. What are your thoughts here? What do you think they're going to bring to the table for tomorrow's game?
Yeah, the team hasn't changed much. I think it's just Josh Adams starting. I think, like I said earlier, we play similar style of play, and set pieces obviously is important. And I think we haven't, the past 2 games, we didn't get it, our set pacing far into the best we can. I think the second game, in the second half, our molds started working. They found ways to stop it's all about dominance in the set piece and who kicks more accurately. And what they've done well the past couple of games is actually taking the opportunities. There are 2 opportunities in the first half in the game in Pretoria. They scored 2 tries. We created a couple of opportunities within our kicking game or set piece, and it will be maybe a last pass or a knock-on, which obviously is not intentional. So we have to make sure if they give us a sniff, we have to take it, because that's what they've been doing the past 2 games.
So just to talk about the set piece dominance though, do you feel that you guys didn't get enough of a scrum contest in these 2 games, that the refs maybe called the ball out too quickly, and have you guys sorted out the break foot? Obviously that was a problem last week as well.
Yeah,
that's
no,
a name for the thing.
No, we've been working. I thought the ref calls for both teams similarly, and I think we always have found a way to make sure that we can get scrum dominance, and that's what we've been working on as a team to make sure that it gets better this week. We don't point fingers at somebody else. We know what we can do, and we've done it before in the past, and we've worked really hard on it this week, and we're gonna do our best to get as much of a contest in the scrum battle. Obviously, control what we can control to make sure that happens. And I know the ref will take care of the rest. So we'll find ways to make sure the more works and the scrum works as much as we can.
Siya, the breakdown battle also has been a bit of a slugfest. Everybody just climbing in, but Tommy Riffle's been quite effective for Wales. Is there maybe something specific you guys can do to sort of keep him a bit more quiet and get that front football?
He played well last game. Obviously, he got man of the match. And I think he got 2 breakdown steals on the breakdown, and it's not only the steals, it's also slowing the ball down. So that's one of the areas we've worked hard on this week to make sure, not specifically for him, but just in general, because there's so many of them. Some Roland slowed down the ball. He'll tank, the hooker does get in there a bit, and so it's overall game. You know, they've actually stepped up on very much on their breakdown game. It's not only poaching; it's also blasting, making sure that the ball is slowed down. So we've worked on it this week.
And the referee, in terms of his interpretations, because some race may block quickly and others allow more of a contest, so you need to think on your feet, sort of.
Yeah, that's why you do. We do preparations. That's how we do research, and you watch the ref and you watch the opposition players. You see what kind of tackles they make. That's the kind of preparation and details that we get into as team. So when we go into a game, we know how the ref is gonna ref the game. So we're gonna know, get in quicker, make sure you control what you can, and you do that by preparation and detail. By the time you get to the field, you don't think, you just go into action.
Then my final question in English, and on to Xhosa later. Siya, during the week, Stephen Kitshoff spoke about the pitch not being up to standard. We know that Cape Town Surfers has football and rugby as well. So obviously you guys just came back from Amonis now and arrived today in Cape Town. Just talk about the pitch conditions. I mean, how do you think the pitch conditions are at the moment? Captains now.
Yeah, we trained. I mean, it's as best as it can be. It's going to be the same for Wales too. No team trains there. So we're both going to feel it. We felt it for the first time today at captains. So I can't make excuses. I just got to make sure I've got the right boots on tomorrow.
Just on Wayne Pivak said yesterday, you guys are in very different parts of your season. They're basically looking forward to a holiday after this weekend, so they know they've got one more game to go. You guys are already at the start of your international season. Just in terms of where you are at the moment in that progression, how do you feel you guys are doing, even, I mean, results aside, but just in terms of where the team is progressing now, because you've got a couple of big games coming up after this?
I think, like I said, we played two different teams already, and we wanted to see our squad to test them under pressure, And I know a lot of people, they've got different opinions about we should have won the first two games and go and play the last one, I remember very well in 2018 when we had England over. We won the first two games in Joburg and Bloemfontein. Then we came to Cape Town, and what happened? And we lost that game also. It shows that there's no right or wrong, So we respect every game. We respect Wales. Even the guys, how they played last week, they showed that, listen, when you're wearing a Springbok jersey, irrespective of who's wearing that jersey, everyone, they put their bodies on the line. Everyone wants to lift their hand up to the coaches and say, we are good enough. And we had 6 new players in the team. We had guys who haven't played for the Springboks in a while. And it was totally a new team where a lot of those guys' combinations, they've never played together, So once again, it's not a matter of we were disrespecting anyone, We respect everyone. We respect the people that are buying tickets. We respect everyone that goes to the stands, and we know South Africans are passionate, But there is one thing that I know is that we are still in the building phase when it comes to building towards the World Cup. But at the very same time, it's always nice as a coach, while you're building, you still win the games. It's always a good environment when you do that. But we understand a lot of people are not happy with the results. We're not happy also with the results last week. Most especially knowing that we had all the opportunities to put them away, and we didn't capitalize from that. So, yeah, I think for us, probably after this game, it will tell us where we are as a team, because we started slow in Pretoria, like I said, and then last week we started well, but we couldn't finish. So it's two different types of games, So this game, hopefully everything will go. Probably if you can, I know one thing for sure. If you can get close to 90% of our potential, I'm talking about now game management, I'm talking about set pieces, I'm talking about capitalizing from the opportunities, we'll probably be in a good position to win the game. But once again, it's got to be a massive 80 minutes for ourselves.
And just the kicking game, we haven't spoken much about the kicking game.
Yeah.
We saw Andre Pollard miss a lot of kicks and also Alton as well.
Yeah.
Just with the touch, has there been any emphasis this week on the accuracy for poles and obviously also the play as well?
I think that's a brutal thing about at this level where you play. On the other side, if you've got a kicker who's got a close to 90% success over the poles, you've got a chance to win at any time. So unfortunately for our guys, I don't want to make excuses for them, If you look at a guy like Elton in the first game, Elton before that game probably had about less than 50 minutes for the whole year, But once again, they're professionals. I'm not trying to make an excuse for them. Same goes with Andre Pollard also. I think he had less than 120 minutes so far this season, So unfortunately, there's nothing we can do as a Springbok team, you know. The best we can do is that we have to give them an opportunity to be on the field. And we understand they're not at their best at the moment when it comes to their kicking game. I'm talking about now towards the post, but I can't wait for them to, where everything goes according to the plan, you know, because of, we know for sure Hande Pollard is a player with confidence, you know. Once he gets it right on a day, you'll win your World Cup. You'll put 32 points against England, you know. So hopefully this time, maybe because both of them have played, and then Hande Pollard who played last week, you know, and I felt like, you know what, he also had a good start until probably the 53rd minute where he started cramping. So I think that's where he started to drift away from the game. So we've got a backup, also a guy that can kick for poles, Damien Willemse, who showed us. So we're not worried that much on that side. But once again, going back to your question about our kicking game, it's one of our strengths, you know. It's one of our strengths, and we know Wales are also similar to that, you know. So I feel like whoever is going to execute that plan very well tomorrow will be in a good position to win the game.
Seeing that this is a final, how much of a plus is it for you guys that a lot of the guys played at Cape Town in that URC final, also the Sharks, from a mental perspective, they've played finals rugby this season. How much of an impact is that?
It seems like we as a team, we strive well under pressure. Because if you look at even the World Cup history, where we lost to the All Blacks, and then everyone said there's never been a team that lost a game in the group stages to go and win the World Cup. And we've proved it the other way. We went to win the World Cup. British and Irish Lions, same thing. Lost the first game. Every game was a final. And that's what I said earlier on. As South Africans, we don't shy away from challenges. We face them. That's who we are by nature, you know. So yes, we're going to take some lessons from those games. We're going to get some motivation from them because we've done it before. So if we come tomorrow and then we do everything according to the plan and play at our best, we'll probably be in the same position again and win this game tomorrow. So it's going to be a tough one. It's going to be a tough one. But I think on the other side, again, if you look at just rugby in general over the weekend, if you look at last week, you know, the All Blacks are in the same boat as us. Australia are in the same boat as us. I think for the fans out there, I think rugby is looking even much better, healthier now, you know, where there's a lot of competition amongst a team. I know we as Springboks, we don't enjoy losing, but once again, I think if you pay DSTV or you're sitting at home, I think now you're starting to get a lot of value for your money because of there's a rugby the whole day, you know, and you don't know who's going to win between Australia or England. You don't know who's going to win between Ireland and New Zealand. Same goes with us, you know. The first game, we were like a minute away from losing the game. We end up winning the game. The time was finished. Last weekend, opposite. So I think for just rugby in general, I think also when I'm sitting on my bed and watching the games in the morning, I enjoy that. I don't want, you know, what do you call those games? The obvious ones, where it's going to be a big 50 points games. You know, I'm not the person that enjoy those games. So tomorrow, I know it's going to be also another big hustle, but we'll do everything in our power to make sure that we keep making our South African people proud.
Siya, we mentioned the goal kicking now. For you as a captain to decide to kick the post or go for the corner, some felt that maybe Andre, last week there was one where they collapsed and more and opted for the 3 points instead of going again to the corner. How difficult is it to make those calls, and does it depend on how the is also going on the day?
No, it's not difficult. I'm not a leader by myself in the team. Andre is a leader. Lawton Airborne in the line as a leader. Kitsoff and Bongi, the whole front row. So we feel what's working on the day, and Andre knows if the points are available, it's test match rugby. He's confident, he's going to take the goals. I don't even need to talk to him, he'll just point out. So that's not a decision that solely relied on me. You know, I say, captain, yes, I speak to the ref, but I want to work in the team. I've got my role to play, and I've got other leaders to rely on. I don't know everything on the day, and when I don't know, I'll ask. If I'm not feeling what's working the best, I'll definitely ask the guys next to me. So we make decisions together, and if Andre is feeling good in the day and he's hitting the ball, he won't even ask me, he will just go for poles.
Guys, last English question, and then we'll go over to Siya.
Siya, and just with regards to Eben, how has he approached this week? Has it been for him in terms of his professionalism and focus? Has it been like any other week, or do you see bit more of an edge about him? Given? I mean,
No.
the game?
It's been like any other week. Like I just said now, we've all got different roles, and he's been taking care of his pressure point this week. You know, we can't hide away. It's a special day. We all know it, you know. But it's also for us. It's a big game. You know, it's a final. That's how we're taking this game. So the only way we can make it special for him, a win. That's the only thing that's going to make it special. And we can only control what we control. And as our preparation, we went as hard as we can. But obviously, it's emotional for all of us. You know, it's really special for someone to achieve what he's achieving and to be the youngest to do it. We feel for him, and the only I can say it here. That's easy to do, and that's not who we are as a team. We have to show him out there tomorrow. We're really excited for him and his family, and obviously for Bongi too. And not many people have even got into 20 caps as a Springbok.